Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ousmane Dembele is set for summer Premier League move with no Barcelona agreement. Revert back towards the end of last year, it said Ousmane Dembele is set to leave Barcelona because Dembele rejected a contract at Barcelona following a furious meeting with club bosses. Manchester United have been linked with him, but I don't want Dembele at Manchester United. The reason is because he's too injury prone. Earlier on this season there was talks of a possible swap deal involving Ousmane Dembele and Anthony Martial. Dembele has been at Barcelona for 5 years. He's made 128 appearances in all competitions. Barcelona got Ousmane Dembele from Borussia Dortmund. They got him in a deal worth £135 million with add-ons included. Dembele is out of contract at Barcelona at the end of the season. To be honest with you, I thought Dembele was a far superior player at Dortmund than he has been at Barcelona, and before he's played at Rennes. Now you know the news on Denis Zakaria. Bild said yesterday that Manchester United have made an offer to the agents of Denis Zakaria. Manchester United are in talks to sign Zakaria. Borussia Mönchengladbach are willing to sell him for just £5 million. Fabrizio Romano recently provided us with an update. He said that Manchester United remain interested, but he said Manchester United have not yet made an official bid. Rangnick is a fan of the player. Liverpool are also interested in him. Borussia Dortmund have been interested. Bayern Munich have been interested, and not so long ago Aston Villa were interested. Denis Zakaria is 25 years of age, is a defensive midfielder, and Rangnick's already made it clear that he wants a centre defensive midfielder at Manchester United. Zakaria has been at Borussia Mönchengladbach for 5 years. Borussia Mönchengladbach got him back in 2017 from Young Boys. They paid around €10 million. Zakaria is out of contract at the end of the season. Do you think Manchester United will make a signing this month? There'll be more outgoings this month than incomings, I can assure that. I think this year there's a good chance that Anthony Martial will be leaving the club. But now Sevilla have culled their interest in Martial. Romano said not so long ago that Sevilla can't pay Anthony Martial's full salary plus loan fee. Towards the end of last year, Manchester United rejected a loan offer from Sevilla for Martial. Edison Cavani, he'll leave Manchester United in the summer because prior to the game against Villa in the FA Cup, Rangnick revealed that Edison Cavani wants to stay at Manchester United until the end of the season. Last Thursday, Cavani had a meeting with Rangnick. Juan Mata, he will also leave the club this year. There's a good chance he'll leave this month. I think he'll either go back to Spain or he'll go to the MLS. Amad Diallo, I'm hearing that he's going out on loan. I heard that Anthony Elanga has been linked with a move to the Championship. But I think Rangnick is keen on keeping him. But we do need to loan Elanga out, to get him more experience. Jesse Lingard, I think he's also leaving this year. Lingard doesn't really get in the team. Donny van der Beek, he'll leave Manchester United in the summer because I have been hearing that he's not allowed to leave the club this month. Matic, I think he's also leaving this year. Pogba, if he leaves this year, he will leave in the summer. He won't leave this month. By the way, PSG are interested in signing Pogba. He's had a long-running transfer saga. He's been linked with Real Madrid. He's been linked with his former club Juventus. He did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he re-signed for Man United. Barcelona have been in for him before, and so too with Inter Milan. Prior to the Aston Villa game in the Cup, Rangnick provided us with an injury update on Pogba. He said Pogba is out for at least another 4 weeks. Pogba's got a hip injury. Revert back to the other week. Paul Pogba denied being offered a Manchester United contract because the Sun came out and said that Man United offered Pogba a new £500,000 a week contract that would have made him the highest paid player in Premier League history. Pogba's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Phil Jones and Eric Bailly, I think they're also leaving this year. Jones doesn't really get in the team. Jones did play against Wolves the other week, because obviously Harry Maguire picked up a knock. Jones was our best player against Wolves. It was his first Premier League appearance since January 2020. At one point, Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. He's the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. This season is his 11th season at Man United, so he's been a long-serving player. Eric Bailly, I gave you the news on him yesterday. Damasio said that Eric Bailly has agreed to join AC Milan. AC Milan want Bailly on loan, and the loan could include an option to buy or maybe even an obligation to buy. Bailly is extremely interested in making a move to Italy. The last game Bailly played for Manchester United was the 3-1 win against Burnley. That was the final game of last year. He had to come off injured in that game. And he is injury prone, is Bailly, which is a concern. And he's at the African Cup of Nations at the moment. And Diego Dalot, he could leave the club this year. And I'm hoping that Manchester United can offload Dean Henderson. But Dean Henderson will not leave Manchester United this month. Ralph Rangnick has confirmed. Henderson wasn't part of the squad in the game against Aston Villa in the Cup last Monday. I was shocked at that because I was expecting Henderson to start against Villa in the Cup. Henderson has only made 2 appearances this season. Doesn't get in goal much because last summer De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. Earlier on this season, Henderson had COVID for a while, didn't he? But towards the end of last season, he got that number 1 jersey, and Dean Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Now, in the summer, I can assure that Manchester United will appoint a permanent manager. There's a good chance that Mauricio Pochettino will be Manchester United's next permanent manager. Reports in France said recently that Manchester United are in secret contact with Mauricio Pochettino, despite Pochettino not being Ralph Rangnick's preferred choice to take over at Manchester United. The Manchester Evening News said not so long ago that Pochettino's move to Manchester United is almost done. Said Pochettino wants Man United and Man United want Pochettino, and Pochettino will leave PSG by June at the latest. PSG have identified their replacement for Pochettino because it did mention that PSG have agreed terms with Zidane. Revert back to earlier on this season, it said Manchester United were willing to pay the 10 million compensation fee for Pochettino. And earlier on this season, Pochettino came out a few times and said that I'm happy at PSG, and he said he wouldn't let the Man United rumours distract him. Pochettino, I think, has won a French Cup at PSG. I think he's got under a year left now on his contract. Revert back to when Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho. Man United should have got Pochettino, but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. He's a good manager, is Pochettino, even though he's hardly won anything. You know, he's proven in the Premier League. Before he managed Tottenham, he enjoyed a 5.5-year managerial tenure with Tottenham. And in 2018, he guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. And at one point, he almost won the league with Tottenham. But analysing the vast majority of his managerial tenure at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. And before Tottenham, he managed Southampton. He only enjoyed a short managerial tenure at Southampton, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So there you go, and before Southampton, he managed Espanyol. You know, Eric Ten Hag could become Manchester United's next permanent manager. There's a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see him get recommended in. You've got to admire the work that Eric Ten Hag has done at Ajax. You know, he's won a couple of titles with them. Back in 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals, and I like the way he develops young players. He's got a contract with Ajax till 2023. He became Ajax manager back in 2017, so he's been Ajax manager now for 5 years. Before Ajax, he managed Utrecht. Before then, he managed Bayern Munich's reserves, and before then, he managed Go Ahead Eagles. The other week, it said Eric Ten Hag was leading the race to become Manchester United's next manager. You know, Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson retired. Because we've sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson so far. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Then Manchester United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite Man United winning the FA Cup under Van Gaal. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. The 3 trophies he won was the Europa League, the EFL Cup and the Community Shield. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, because the board didn't recommend the players he wanted in, and he had bad disputes with the top players. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years. Solskjaer's last game in charge of Man United was that 4-1 defeat to Watford. Ralf Rangnick is Manchester United's interim manager until the end of this season. Then it did initially say that he will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years, but it recently said that the consultancy role is now in doubt for Rangnick. Ralf Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for over a month now. He's lost 1 game so far. Because obviously Man United lost to Wolves 1-0 at Old Trafford the other week. And that was the first time Wolves won at Old Trafford since 1980. You know, there has been poor performances under Rangnick so far. But reflecting on that, Rangnick is blameless. You know, I think the players are to blame for the poor performances. You know, the players are the biggest problem at Manchester United at the moment. There's problems that Rangnick needs to address at Man United. I think he needs to address, you know, the squad, his formation. So far, Rangnick's gone with that 4-2-2 formation. Formation doesn't seem to be working, does it? And also, he needs to address the team selection. Revert back to the other week, there was a lot of rumours coming out saying that Rangnick is already losing the dressing room at Manchester United. And he said, you know, 17 Man United players are unhappy with Rangnick. And he said he's already under pressure at Man United. But despite that, you know, Rangnick got told that transfer funds are available this month. So reflecting on that, Rangnick will be backed by the Glazers this month. I'm hoping that Rangnick can win a trophy this season because Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. I've got to give Rangnick credit though, he has made changes since he's come in. You know, he's brought 3 additions in. You know, he brought Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He also brought Chris Armas in as an assistant coach. And he also brought Saz Chalens in as a sports psychologist. Before Man United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. I'm very sceptical that Manchester United will offer Rangnick the job on a permanent basis. Let me put into the equation as well, none of this squad is Rangnick's. You know, he's inheriting players who other managers have brought in. But regardless of who our manager is, you know, no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. And that's something we've got to accept. You know, Alex Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. You know, Alex Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years. Alex Ferguson was at Manchester United for around 26 years. So reflecting on that, he was a very long-serving manager. The only mistake Ferguson made was ever recommending David Moyes in when he retired. But the reasons he did that is because they're both Scottish and Ferguson had a lot of time for Moyes. But since he retired, you know, Man United have been playing catch-up. As you all know, Ed Woodward is stepping down at Manchester United at the end of this month. Ed Woodward has had like a 17-year association at the club. Revert back to April last year, it got announced Woodward was leaving when that European Super League came into the equation. Woodward's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. It's Richard Arnold that will be Woodward's replacement. Richard Arnold will become the chief executive on the 1st of February. Obviously, the Glazers are still at Manchester United. They've owned the club now for around 17 years. The Glazers bought Manchester United for 500 million back in 2005. Manchester United do play Aston Villa this Saturday in the Premier League. It's at Villa Park. It's a 5:30 kick-off. Manchester United will face Aston Villa for the second time this week. Because Manchester United beat Villa in the FA Cup third round 1-0 last Monday. The only goal of the game came from a Scott McTominay header. That was McTominay's second goal of the season. McTominay was the man of the match against Villa in the Cup. McTominay's done well in the last few games. It was a good cross by Fred to pick out McTominay. In the Cup game on Monday, Aston Villa dominated large periods of the game and they was unlucky not to win. Aston Villa had good chances in the game on Monday. They also had 2 goals disallowed for offside. Danny Ings had his goal ruled out by VAR because in the build-up, Jacob Ramsey was caught in an offside position and Ramsey was also blocking Cavani. I think there was also checking at a possible handball by Danny Ings. And Ollie Watkins, he had his goal disallowed. Last Monday was Steven Gerrard's first time at Old Trafford as a manager. When Aston Villa appointed Steven Gerrard in, he signed a 3.5-year deal. So that means he's under contract with Villa until 2024. I think Gerrard's done a pretty good job at Aston Villa so far, but they've been in a bit of bad form in recent weeks. Before Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard managed Rangers. He won the Scottish Premiership with Rangers, so you can see he did well with them. And before then, he managed Liverpool's under 18s. Before Steven Gerrard, Aston Villa had Dean Smith. They sacked Dean Smith earlier on this season. Dean Smith is now the Norwich City manager. Aston Villa have just signed Lucas Digne from Everton. Aston Villa agreed a 25 million transfer fee. And Lucas Digne has also signed his contract with Aston Villa. Good signing for Villa that. Could be making his debut against Man United this Saturday. By the way, last week, Aston Villa signed Philippe Coutinho on loan from Barcelona until the end of the season. That was also a good transfer business by Villa. There's a good chance that Philippe Coutinho will make his debut for Villa against us this Saturday. Coutinho didn't play any part in the cup game last Monday because he's been away, and plus, not that long ago, Coutinho had COVID. They've got good players in their team of Aston Villa. Obviously they've got Ollie Watkins. He just come back from COVID not so long ago. Ollie Watkins is a former Brentford player. They've also got Danny Ings. He's made an impact at Villa, but he is injury prone. I thought Danny Ings was very good when he was at Southampton. Was pretty good when he was at Liverpool as well. Aston Villa have also got Teresa Gay. He's not available at the moment because he's at the African Cup of Nations. They've got Bertrand Traore. He's at the African Cup of Nations at the moment. They've got Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey didn't play any part in the cup game last Monday because he's injured at the moment. Leon Bailey's made an impact at Aston Villa. Aston Villa got him from Bayer Leverkusen. John McGinn, he's a very, very good midfielder. John McGinn is not available for this game because he's suspended. Boo Ndia, he's also very good. Aston Villa, I think, got him from Norwich. He played in the cup game on Monday, Boo Ndia, and he played well because he had some good chances in that first half. Marvellous Nakamba, he didn't play any part in the cup game last Monday because he's out with injury at the moment. Douglas Luiz, to be honest with you, I don't really rate him. Villa also have Jacob Ramsey. They've got Morgan Sanson as well. Tyrone Mings, he's a very, very good centre-half. Manchester United were linked with him a while ago. Tyrone Mings will probably start this game. Ezri Konsa's good. He'll probably play in this game. Matt Targett and Matakash. Aston Villa have also got them. I think there's a good chance they'll be involved in this game. Ashley Young, he didn't play any part in the game last Monday in the cup because he's been out with a toe injury. Ashley Young is in the second spell at Aston Villa. Young is a former Manchester United player. Young was a long-serving player at Man United. He was at Man United for around 8.5 years. And Aston Villa's first choice goalkeeper is Martinez. Let me put into the equation that Aston Villa have lost or are losing Anwar El Ghazi. Anwar El Ghazi is joining Everton on loan, I've been hearing, until the end of the season. Don't forget, Aston Villa also lost Jack Grealish to Man City, but Villa did receive $100 million for him. The money they received for Grealish, look what players they're getting in. They're doing good transfer business, like I mentioned earlier. And not so long ago, Axel Tuanzebe left Aston Villa to join Napoli on loan. They lost Tom Eaton as well last summer because Man United got Tom Eaton on a free transfer. Obviously, Tom Eaton is our third choice goalkeeper. Manchester United won this fixture at Villa Park last season, 3-1. We lost to Aston Villa earlier on this season, 1-0 at Old Trafford. That was the first time Aston Villa won at Old Trafford since 2009. Luke Shaw, he won't be playing any part in this game because he's suspended. McTominay, he won't be playing any part in this game because he's suspended. Pogba, obviously he won't be playing because he's still out with injury. Eric Bailly, he's at the African Cup of Nations. Martial, he's recently been out with injury. Diego Dalot is expected to be available for this game. Dalot played in the cup game against Villa last Monday and he picked up an injury. I think it was an ankle injury, but good news is from Man United perspective, the injury is not too serious. After Aston Villa, Manchester United play Brentford. That's Wednesday the 19th of January. That game got rearranged because Man United was supposed to be playing Brentford on Tuesday the 14th of December last year, but got postponed because Man United were hit with a COVID outbreak. Cristiano Ronaldo, I've been speaking with you about him in recent days. He missed Man United's FA Cup third round tie against Aston Villa due to a minor muscular problem, but Rangnick confirmed that the injury was not too serious. So Ronaldo should be available for the game this Saturday. Ronaldo's recently been targeted by PSG. The other week, Ronaldo held crisis talks with his agent, Jorge Mendes, about his future. And Ronaldo came out and said that he wants to leave Man United if the club's next manager isn't to his liking. And Marcus Rashford, I've been talking with you a lot about him recently. Marcus Rashford needs to be dropped. Rangnick did admit that he doesn't know why Marcus Rashford is struggling. You know, Rashford was poor against Villa in the Cup last Monday. He's been very, very poor since he had that operation on his shoulder. You know, he just hasn't been the same player. Rashford missed the first 2 months of the season with that shoulder problem. By the way, Marcus Rashford prepares to open contract talks with Manchester United. You know, Rashford has like 18 months left on his current £200,000 a week deal. You know, Marcus Rashford has made 286 appearances for Man United in all competitions. He has been part of the club for a long time, hasn't he? So anyway guys, on my next video, I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for the game against Villa. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.